Mayo Experience.
Mayo Experience. Mayo Experience. Mayo Experience. Experience.
Welcome to the Pat Mayo Experience, presented by DraftKings. Week 16, best bets, gold, silver, bronze, against the spread. Cam and Rob will be here momentarily, but I need to tell you about how you can get in some draws. $1,500 to give away in two separate draws. So the big $2,000 Christmas bonus has been going along swimmingly. Gave out $500, but the final $1,000 is being given away on Friday's Pat Mayo Experience with Tambo in studio. So I highly recommend that you get in the giveaway. You can do that by subbing to Mayo Media Network. Easy stuff. Share this on social media. That's another ballot in the draw. Or just hit the description and find the myriad ways that you can get in. The main one, rating and reviewing the Pat Mayo Experience audio podcast, along with subscribing, by the way, because we got a lot of stuff coming in. A very custy Christmas on Christmas Day. Me and Jeff breaking down the majors on Monday, the regular football content. We are not leaving you high and dry throughout the course of the Christmas season. When you need podcasts the most, the Pat Mayo Experience will be there so you can get away from your family. The other one you can do is go to the Odds Checker US YouTube page, subscribe to it right now, and comment Mayo below any one of their videos in the comment section, and that gets you into a draw for $500. So it's easy stuff. That legit takes like 9 seconds to do. You can do that while you're watching this, and the video won't even leave the screen. So you're going to be good to go on that one. All the information down in the description right now. The Listeners League for football and golf is available too. And Cam, this one just for you. Guess what's open already?
Sony Open?
The one and done Fantasy Golf World Championship race for the Mayo Cup. It's now open.
Hey.
You can, yeah, what? You going to win
I'm
this
in.
year? You're in.
Yeah, buddy. I was doing actually pretty good with my loser picks last year. I think I got paid. I got my money back at least, right?
There you go. So you have money to enter this year.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually had a piece of rosin bag this week on the European tour too. Rosner? Mon Dieu. Excellent.
So Fantasy Golf World or fantasygolfchampionships.com. Link is down in the description. $125 to play for the year. One pick per week for the 37 tournaments. Most money at the end of the year wins $50,000. It's easy stuff. So go play in that right now. It's already 20% full, and it doesn't start for 3 weeks. So don't come bitching to me in 2.5 weeks' time. No, there's no spots left. I didn't know about it. No, I'm telling you right now. Fuck off and go enter it, okay? Thank you. Boys, I didn't even look at how we did last week because we're filming this a day early. I feel like we did poorly because I did poorly because I watched the Ravens game back and I still can't figure out how they didn't win.
Tucker missed kicks.
Yep. Justin Tucker, 2 missed kicks. They had the 4th down stop at the 7-yard line when they had the running play. The Ravens punted 1 time last week and they lost.
They scored 3 points or 6 points, whatever the hell it was. They rushed for 8 yards a carry.
I know. I don't know. It's just one of those results. I think you can look up and down the board every week in the NFL. You can probably find a handful of results where you're like, I don't even know how this possibly happened. The one that stands like, I don't know how KC and Houston went to overtime last week. Like the Texans had 219 total yards of offense last week.
Well,
they went to overtime.
Overall, we were 4-5 for the week. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah,
I'm betting I went 2-1 again.
Rob did good.
You
I
did.
went 1 and 2.
We both got stuck with the Jets -1 before we heard about the Zach Wilson news. Happens.
It happens.
Man. Cats covering again, Pat. 3 out of 4 cats. The only one that didn't get it done was Carolina. I'm telling you, this sounds insane, but add up the money. If you bet cats recently, every cat team for the last 6 weeks, you're loaded. Lions win every week. Panthers they got a chance in that division. Bengals come back against Tampa Bay. I'm just telling you, I know it's stupid, but it's happening. If you just bet on felines, you're going to get loaded. Don't even break it down.
I feel like the horses have done poorly this year.
Very good call. Pizzola, Bob Bronco is shitting himself. That's true. He bucks. Who else is another horse?
The Colts. The Colts have been
horrible horse, but they covered against Minnesota. But he's another trotter with a broken leg. Who else do we got? Is there another horse team?
Well, I mean, you could put the Bills and Rams, I guess, in the same category.
They're more Bisons.
But that type
Bison,
of
Ram.
But they've also done poorly. The Bills-Rams combo, whatever we want to group those as, that's also been a poor combination this year.
You're right. Bisons, animals with horns.
Horned animals.
Horned animals, yeah.
Yes.
And animals that are actually more dangerous than you think. Like you're like, oh, look at the nice wood buffalo just sitting there as he props up and puts his head through your car and, you know, puts his horns right through your stomach. I told you, Rob, when I was in Yellowknife, I was like with this idiot, this camera guy. He's like, hey, you know, I go, I'm going to take some pictures of these bison. And then I really pissed the guy off. Thank God, start that car because like you're out of there. They can move too. People don't understand. Those guys are fast. Once they get trucking, you're done. Very lucky.
Sneaky speed. Very sneaky speed.
True.
Yes.
Ask, we were discussing the gold picks beforehand, and the one I wanted, and ask, and ye shall receive, Mr. Pizzola. I was waiting for my hook to come down, and here it comes, and I think it's going to come down even more, but we're doing the lines as of the time of the show. I will be taking the Tennessee Titans, -4.5 now, against the Houston Texans. Malik Willis might start, whatever, that's fine. Give the ball to Derrick Henry 31 times, and you probably cover the spread by 14 points. I think we are getting a gift, Rob, with how well the Texans have played the last 2 weeks, and everything that they've done well, I don't think works against Tennessee.
I agree with you. I don't know that I'm going to be in a rush to lay this because of exactly what you said. I think if Malik Willis gets announced as starter, we might see it come down a little bit more, but I'd like to get involved in the Titans. I think the Texans, like by virtue of now having covered against the Chiefs and the Cowboys back-to-back weeks, like people just think that there's something that they're not. Like I mentioned off the top, they had 219 yards of total offense last week. I think the NFL should do an investigation into last week's Chiefs-Texans game because every single third down, the Chiefs got a penalty. That's the only reason that game was close. The Chiefs had 500 yards of total offense, and the game went to overtime. So I'm in agreement with you. One thing we know about the Texans, like they can't stop the run. And they can't stop Derrick Henry. The last 5 times that they faced Derrick Henry, he's averaged 196 yards on 28 carries in those games. That's like, this is the most absurd thing ever. And by the way, like this dual system quarterback that the Texans run, like it's time to stop. When they have Jeff Driscoll on the field, they have a 30% success rate on offense. I don't even know what they're doing anymore. All I know is that I think the Titans are just going to hand off 50 times in this game, and they'll probably win the game like 20-6.
Yeah.
What's Davis Mills' success rate?
38%.
Oh, he's 8% better than Driscoll.
Well, he's 8 percentage points better than Driscoll. It's actually a higher percentage than that.
Oh, okay.
Very good point.
Yeah, he's probably like a 13% better, 15% better, something like that.
Oh,
I worked at Sportsnet magazine as my first job out of college, and this guy wrote.
What a book.
Oh yeah, it was fucking fantastic. After I got fired from Hockey Central after a day and a half, and then they put me on the row, and then I got fired from there for questioning the head guy. Like, are you putting like SEO tags on these articles? He's like, I don't know what that is. Shut up. And I was like, hey, you're
yeah, we've all been canned, Mayo. Sometimes it works out to be the best move. And at the time, it's not very good, but it works out for everybody usually down the line. Look at you now. You're a proprietor. You got your own business. It was a great move.
Turns out that I work best for myself rather than other people because they don't want to hear my shit when I'm trying to improve their product. So I ended up going to the magazine, and this guy, I think it was during one of the hockey lockouts, and he wrote this thing about the salary cap and how it would go up. You know, it's like, oh, the cap needs to go up like 3%, but all of his stuff was exactly what you just said. Was it would go from like, well, it needs to go from 93 to 96. That's a 3% increase. I was like, that's not a 3% increase. That's a 3 percentage point increase. If you write that, it will factually be incorrect. He got so mad, but the editors love me for it, Rob.
Listen, man,
nice.
I'm the calculator. What else do they call me in the comments on a weekly basis? The algorithm and whatever. I appreciate
megabyte,
gigabyte, sure, all whatever else.
RAM, memory.
I think you're just making stuff up. But ultimately, I do appreciate good math, and I agree, Pat. Like you should be correcting people on that, especially if it's going to be in a publication. Like if this is going out to other people, it's the onus is on the writer and the editors to get that stuff right. So good. I would agree for correcting.
Yeah. Another thing is, I know I make a lot of stupid comments on this show, but when I don't know something about something, I will ask.
That's
you know what
great.
I mean? That's one thing. You know what, Pat? If you were my boss and said, hey, or you know whatever, or I said, hey, how do I do things this way? That's the one thing I can take that stuff because, you know, like if you're not a professional chef and you think you can like cook these meals, wouldn't it be good to ask somebody that's actually done it before or understands the concept? So that's why I don't get involved in Pizzola's. Like, I'd like to see the database one day. I'd like to see how it works. I saw some of his older work when we worked at the Score, like hockey goals and stuff. Pizzola, and one of your guys, Jesse, who used to know us from a long time ago, he's put together an NHL thing, like more goals on this day than the other day and stuff. Like it's fascinating information, to be honest with you. Math gives me a headache, so I'll let you two guys do it.
I mean, I'm not really a math guy. I'm just more of a nomenclature type guy.
Well, listen, there's nothing. I nomenclature. I like when people like you, Pat. Like there needs to be people like you that come out there and just say like, no, this is wrong. But then there's also the person on the other side of things that drives me crazy. It's the person that's going to just double down on their shitty take, right? Like somebody's going to go and be like, actually, I'm sorry, this is incorrect. And they're like, what are you talking about? Like it's the defensive person. There's nothing worse than that person. It's like, oh, what are you talking about? It is a 3% increase. And like, no, it's not. Here's why. And they just take that opinion to the grave. Those are the worst kinds of people in society.
Are you referring to me most of the time, Rob?
I didn't use your name specifically. However,
I'm pretty fair though. Like that's the thing. I've never been in a senior position. I get slapped around by management, so you don't have to worry about me. I'm always going to be a minion.
So Tennessee -4.5. If they announce, I mean, I feel like this line is now starting to reflect that Willis is going to be starting, or at least a hedge between that. If it is announced, Rob, what do you think this goes to? 3.5, 4?
Maybe not much further than this,
4.
honestly, because. What was the line when Malik Willis started on the road at Houston? It was 3, right?
Yeah, it was 3 or 3.5. Yeah.
So it can't come down much further than this. I would be surprised. Now it's a little bit different for Tennessee because they do have a lot more injuries than they did at that time. On the defensive side of the ball, is Houston going to be the team to take advantage of that? No, I don't think so. But I would be surprised if this comes down lower than 4.
Okay. So Rob, you are up for your gold selection of the week. Let's see if you can make it 3 in a row, I think, on the golds.
Yeah, good work, Rob.
Thank you. Appreciate that. I've been riding one specific team for a while now. I'm going to continue riding them because I just think that they are consistently undervalued in market. They're not an animal or anything like that, but they are the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think that the Steelers are way better than people give them credit for. They're 5-2 with TJ Watt on the field this year. Their losses with TJ Watt were the Ravens and the Bengals, both of who you would consider top 10 teams. And their pass rush is just on point right now. They have TJ Watt back, like I mentioned, but you go up against a Las Vegas offensive line that has struggled in pass protection all year. And everyone wants to point to, Darren Waller being back, Hunter Renfrow being back. But if you can't pass protect, it doesn't really matter. And on the other side of things, what have the Raiders done? The Raiders lost to Baker Mayfield and the Rams at home a couple of weeks ago. This past week was the biggest abomination of a victory I've seen in a long time in the NFL. How they could rule that was a touchdown to tie the game for the Raiders. Like if you're talking about, they say it has to be clear and concise evidence. And by the way, $billion company, how do they only have one camera view that's like this monstrous aerial view of the entire situation?
You're a smart guy. They like controversy. And why do you think all these rules are just things that you can change, manipulate, even if you have evidence? This is what the league wants. They want to create controversy so people talk about this stuff. There should be a microchip in the ball. This league has so much money and they're chains to mark yardage. Even me, I'm a dinosaur, and I think that's a poor move. So these guys, this. They like it this way. People are gambling on it, and then they can make any damn decision that they want. Let's call it out for what it is.
Agree with you, but that was just between that and then the Jacoby Myers, like the lateral herd around the world, basically, that we all watch. It's been, a couple of crappy performances for the Raiders in a row. And the one thing that particularly stands out to me with Las Vegas, the last point I'll make, is they've played 4 games this year against teams that generate a top 15 pressure rate in the entire league. So only 4 in basically the above half of the league. They lost to the Cardinals. They lost to the Titans. They lost to the Jags. Their only win against a team with a top 15 pressure rate was actually last week against the Patriots. And I'd argue that they actually lost that game because that touchdown was horseshit in the end zone at the end there anyways. So I don't like the matchup for the Raiders offense. I think the Steelers have just been flying under the radar, undervalued for going on like 6 weeks now. I'll take Pittsburgh -2.5.
I just worry that this ends up being a classic Raiders game where they're just randomly up by 17 in the fourth quarter. Pittsburgh ends up winning, but it's by like 1. I have no feel for this game Sunday night. It's going to be frigid that the points might be the look here for me, Cam. So I'm not. Pittsburgh's not going to be getting my money, is what I'm saying, Cam. But Vegas.
They won't be getting my money, but I think Rob's onto something. That defense is unbelievable. That's the thing. Like, I don't trust Pittsburgh's offense, but their defense puts them in good positions. And sometimes field goals, you add them up over time. Carr's good for a big mistake in this game as well. For me, I'm probably, if I had to bet it, I'd bet the Raiders, but I totally see Pizzola's point. You got a significant defense, and their defensive line could ravage Carr in that offensive line, and that's a problem.
And we need to disagree, because last week we agreed a ton and we didn't go above 500. So we need to disagree with each other and not like each other's
I need you
picks.
two to disagree, and then I go the opposite way. It usually works, except for my Survivor pick that we'll get to later. I think it was Washington.
Yes, you need to go to the Hammer HQ and subscribe to the Forward Progress channel to check out Drive to Survivor, which we do every single week. If you're still left in Survivor, we also have the Futures contest between Cust and Jeff, where somehow Jeff has rallied back, Robin, and he's looking like the favorite to win now.
I was actually looking through their portfolios a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, oh, Jeff is cooked here. Like, Cust is going to take him to the cleaners by end of year. I looked at them yesterday. I'm like, no, Jeff is now like a minus 200 favorite, I think. Cust is just, his teams have completely fallen off, which honestly, we should have expected this entire time. Like, that's what was inevitably going to happen regardless. But I'm pulling for Feinberg. Me and Cam worked with Jeff back in the day. He has a special place in my heart. Plus, his haircut, I think, is, it's a new look for him. He's going for something new, fresh new ways, and I'm pulling for him for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Always had great hair. Always had good lid.
Yeah, well, he has his fresh new haircut now. He's looking pretty sharp. But Cuss was riding on Seattle to make the playoffs and Jets to make the playoffs. If one of those two teams comes back, he can still win, though, Cam.
I doubt that's happening. I'm a Seahawk fan. They're toast. And the Jets, maybe. I don't know what to say. It's probably 0-2. Sorry.
Do you have a gold pick?
Not really. No, I don't. I think everything's basically the same, Pat. I can use this every week. What's gold? What's silver? What's bronze? To me, they're picks. You know what, guys? I'm going to do. It pains me to do this. I'm going against a cat.
Ooh.
I'm going against a team. I'm going on a team that I loathe, despise. I want the New England Patriots plus 3.5 as my gold pick. Not screwing around. Tampa Bay was beating the Bengals for a while. They just fell off the radar because Brady's a stick. Like, he can't move, and they just had a bad game plan. Cincinnati's great. Trust me. I love this team, but this is a good spot for New England. After that embarrassing loss, all the other stuff that happened in that game, sometimes I just look at lines and go, okay, Cincinnati 3.5, sure. No, I think if they lose, it'll be in a heartbreaking fashion. Asking the Bengals to win by 4 is a lot. I will sprinkle on the money line with New England. I don't even like this team. I think Mac Jones is a fucking idiot. I'd actually like to kick him in the nuts. Guy's a fucking jerk. He is. The way he talks, hey, hold these nuts. You know what? Hold these nuts, dick. As Chandler Jones pushes you into next week, you fuck. Anyway, give me the Patriots plus 3.5. I hate that prick.
I love the other side of this game. So that's probably good news for you, Cam. I just don't understand.
I don't know why I made this pick, but it's coming. It's just the first thing that popped in my head.
Listen,
I like it.
That's usually how you do well. What do you see? It's like when I looked at the Titans, I was like, that's not enough points. I'm going to take the Titans. You see the same thing as it pertains to the Patriots. But this is the same line that Cincy was getting in Tampa last week. And for as flawed as Tampa is, I actually think that they're better than the Patriots.
I don't know. That's debatable. Like,
it is.
Tampa's pretty garbage too.
Sounds like you like the pick, Rob. I saw a lot of nodding in the box.
So here's the thing. I'm probably not going to bet the Patriots this week. I think that this is a very good matchup for New England, and I'll talk about that in a second. The problem is, I said this many times against Cincinnati before, and it doesn't matter. Like, Cincinnati is just a covering machine. Like, all they do, they're 9-3 against the spread this year. Their record against the spread last year was absurd. Like, if you just keep betting the Bengals over and over, you basically own a private island.
I usually do, Rob. This is the first week I think I've gone against them. I don't even know what's wrong with me. Like, I don't understand.
So the reason I think it's a decent matchup for New England, they have the number 2 pressure rate in the league, and they don't blitz a lot. And I think that's very important when you face Joe Burrow, because Joe Burrow is the best against the blitz. And because of that, we're seeing teams blitz him less and less. But if you can generate pressure without blitzing, I think your defense has a chance overall. On the other side of the ball, the problem for the Bengals last week and why Tampa Bay got off to that early start was obviously they're missing Trey Hendrickson, but they also lose their other defensive end, Sam Hubbard, in that game, who's
That's
questionable
huge.
to play this week. They couldn't get any pressure on Brady. I mean, at the end of the day, Brady just gave that game away. The Bucs turned the ball over on 5 straight possessions. But as much as I agree with Cam and I dislike Mac Jones overall, both as a person and as a quarterback, and he doesn't pass the eye test, if you look at his Pro Football Focus grades this year, when he's pressured, his grade is 25.2. It is shockingly bad, like horrendous. That's
He's
at
brutal.
the brutal. When he's kept clean, it's 88.4. That's amongst the best quarterbacks in the league. So is there an opportunity for the Patriots offense to move the ball? I think so. I'm kind of leaning towards Cam's side in this game, but I will say that I have very little confidence in that because the Bengals, like, they play shit games like last week where they can't do anything offensively and they still end up winning by margin.
Oh, yeah, and covering teasers, too. Like, you're sitting there with Tampa Bay thinking, no, what, worst case scenario, even if, like, guys play different ways, you have, like, a teaser or whatever. Oh, I'm home and cool. Look at this lead. No, they just went touchdown, 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 touchdown. They blow tickets up if you're against them. But you know what? In the NFL, guys, you guys know this. It's a week-to-week league. Everybody makes adjustments. The Patriots have a good matchup as to what Rob said. And you know what? They're going to remember the stupid ass lateral. And you know what? They're actually going to play well. And I think they can beat the Bengals this week.
See,
Just my opinion.
I think narrative-wise, it goes the other way. I think the Patriots' season ended on that play. I think they're fucking cooked.
Really?
Yeah.
It's possible. That could be like a really demoralizing play.
Like,
Here's the thing, though.
It's it.
I understand. No, and this is one thing where I know you guys are talking calculators and computers. I'll talk human element. It doesn't matter when you're on a shit
That's
team.
what I was doing.
No, Pat,
Yeah.
Pat,
He
what I'm
wasn't
trying to say
talking
is,
calculator. He
no,
was
what I'm
talking-
trying, no. I'm
Okay.
just going to explain.
Yep.
Just going to explain.
Yep.
Okay. I've been on shit teams before. It doesn't matter if we lost with a 5-goal lead. We're coming back the next game. We're going to fucking win this game. We're going to rally the troops. We're going to get together because that's what we do. So I understand. Patricia's a doorknob with like chicken wings in his beard, like me. Like I'd like fishtails on, Rob, I'm eating fish. Remember I told you I found some crumbs the other day? I found like one of those shrimp tails on my floor. I'm like, what am
I don't
doing
remember
at
you
night?
told me that. No.
Anyway, I found a shrimp tail. Like I obviously need a vacuum. But Pat, that's the thing. Things are happening in this game, and I don't think the Patriots, because of that play, go, you know what? We're done. No, they wake up the next day and go, we're a 7-7 football team, and if we beat Cincinnati, we're back. I don't think they folded their tent. I know it's a hard way to lose, but you come back and fight again. I don't believe this narrative that, the season's done type of stuff. They're at home this week too. That's all I'm saying.
Respectfully, I would say that there's probably a little bit of a difference between NFL players who are making millions of dollars and you playing in your men's hockey league. Yeah. I think there's maybe just a little bit of a
but
discrepancy
they wanna win
there.
too. Like, we're all competitive people, Rob. Like, in the end, you don't just say, we blew that lead and what a horrible way to lose. So we're just going to, we're going to pack it in.
Listen,
I think you wake up with a positive attitude. Right?
See, I do not think that you look at it with a positive attitude, especially when you're in Vegas, too. Do you think they let them stay at night to let them burn it off? Because I don't think they did. They put them on a plane back to fucking New England. And they're like, oh, it's freezing here. Great.
They put Jacoby Myers on a plane directly to the sun, actually. They put him on a rocket and they strapped him right to the sun.
A rocket. Yes. Well played, Rob. Sorry, anyway, I'm not saying nothing. Go Patriots.
Silver picks for the week. Rob, you can lead this one off.
Please do.
Sure. I was actually just going through the board here, though. Before I get into my silver, Cam, what are your thoughts when we have a cat facing another cat, like we have the Lions and the Panthers this week?
It's a great question, Rob. See, we never addressed this situation. What cat has been better to me over a long period of time? What cat has been my friend when I was getting torched in October, getting smoked, and when I was on tilt? And it was Larry the Lion. I got on that streak the whole way through, but I understand. I hate to say it. Paulie Panther getting 3 will be your pick.
Okay, that didn't clarify anything for me, but that's fine. It's I was just curious what happened.
I did clarify it. I said Larry the Lion has been with me for longer. He has covered more spreads for me, and he's been a better friend and a cat than Paul Panther.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. Like I was saying, like what's the philosophy when two cat teams play, and you're basically like, I'm going to take the team that's been better to me, which is the Lions, but the Panthers are the pick this week.
I can't even debate that. The Panthers getting 3 is probably the pick.
That's what I'm saying. So like,
but my heart's telling me I want the Lions to win. Like, do you understand? But the Panthers are the pick. Yes.
Do you maybe do you switch to the total? Is there like a trend on the total?
No, I don't do anything.
Cat teams are playing overs or unders.
No, what, Rob? Okay. I'll go again. You caught me. I guilty. You're the cop. You put the handcuffs on. I like to bet cat teams, but I will take the one that I'm getting points with usually, and that is Carolina.
Wow. It sounds, it's who's the detective now, Rob? It sounds like you've cracked the case.
Rob know what he is? He's that cop who's like savvy and he finds the DNA, where I'm like the stooge and I play like the Columbo routine, acting real dumb, and then I'll be his friend and then I'll get him. But Rob's good. Like he went into the interrogation room and basically tore me a new one there.
This would be me in the court of law, right? Like if I have someone under cross-examination, I'm just asking them questions, getting them to spill the beans, and then boom, catch them in the lie.
Yeah. I don't double down on bad answers, though. I admit, you got me. Carolina +3 looks like, 3 meows, 3 growls, 3 whatever. You're getting 3. You're not giving 3. You're getting 3.
Can you do a Columbo glass eye? Like, can you do that impression? I think I might be able to. I think I might be able to do
I hope you can.
I'm going to give this a try here.
Yeah.
That's my Peter Falk impression.
That's fantastic,
That's
Pat.
really
My
good,
mom's old boyfriend, he was golfing. He actually got a guy came back, they were wasted, and took it back, and the guy lost his eye on the tee block.
Oh, Jesus.
When my mom's one of her, when my mom was 18 years old, her boyfriend, lost his eye when they were all just like, haha, that's the thing. So when you're golfing, be careful, especially when you're drinking. Don't get too close to the guy winding it up. Just true story. Yeah. Great Columbo, by the way, Pat. Excellent.
Thank you very much. So, Rob, there is a bet from this game. Obviously, we don't do props on this, and there's no props released yet, so you can't do it. But DJ Chark under receiving yards matched up against J.C. Horn is going to be the play for me. That's the only thing I'm playing from this game. We saw it last week with Sauce Gardner. Just the Lions have so many options now that everyone is back on offense. They're just like, fuck it. We're not throwing that way.
I don't mind that look. And listen, you don't typically associate terrible weather in December with Charlotte. However, it's going to be a very cold game. Like the
Charlotte
East Coast is getting extremely cold this week, and you get another Goff cold game. You get another Goff game against a good defense. Goff's played 3 good defenses this year, right? He's played the Cowboys, the Patriots, and last week he played the Jets. They had a punt block for a touchdown last week. Like they haven't scored.
Can I play devil's advocate, Rob? They were actually the dominant team against Dallas. I remember we both bet on Detroit that time, and they got very unlucky.
How many points did they score? Is my question.
I'm just saying though that they got hosed in that game and they beat the Jets. So this Goff cold weather shit is bullshit. It's not bullshit. It is bullshit. He's fine. He's having a great year. He plays bad in the cold? The guy's been fine. I don't understand this shit. He played good in Green Bay. His team let him down in the playoffs. It's not Goff. It's not Goff.
Listen, I think with anything we can take specific, like he played good against the Giants on the road in cold. You can take specific games.
Yes.
However, when you look at the sample of his entire career and you compare his games in cold weather environments to warm or indoors, it's a huge drop-off relative to other quarterbacks.
But, Rob, is he not getting better? I think a lot of those bad performances in your database were earlier on in his career. He has been better in cold weather games now. It's a progression.
Here are my thoughts on Goff. If you put Goff against a bad defense, he's going to cook them. If you put him against a good defense, he's going to get cooked. I think Goff is just an average quarterback, and people make it out to be extreme one way or another. Goff is fine. He's okay.
That's what I say.
Is he going to win a Super Bowl? He was in the Super Bowl, and he cost them the Super Bowl.
McVay called a shit game, too. Him and his coordinators hung him out to dry that game. That wasn't all on Goff. It was partly his fault. It was a whole team effort.
What was the final score in that game?
They didn't fucking score a point. I know. They missed a field goal at the end by Legatron to kill my teaser in the under. I know. But that's not on Goff. He's only running the plays that they give him, too. He was actually not as bad as people think. Anyway, this one I'm not going to back down on, Rob, in the interrogation room. I think Goff is better than people think. I'm not saying he's great. He's more than serviceable. I think he's good. Can we say good?
No. Sure. Average. He's the 17th best quarterback?
He's better than average.
Okay, if he's better than average, he's the 15th best quarterback in football?
I'd rank him around 11 or 12.
Really? 11 or 12? You want to go through them all?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, let's go through this. Here's what I want to know. Would you rather have Jared Goff or Josh Allen?
Josh Allen. Not even close.
Okay, so we have to go through them all if we're going to get to them here. Would you rather have
this week? I got to go shop for my mom. But let's go rapid fire.
Would you do this? Okay, Tua.
Okay. Barely. Next.
Zach Wilson.
Goff.
Okay, Mac Jones.
Goff.
Burrow.
Lamar.
Come on.
Answer quickly. Let's
Lamar!
go.
Deshaun Watson.
Goff.
Come on. All right.
I'm dead serious.
Pickett.
Watson sucks.
Pickett.
What?
Kenny Pickett.
Goff.
Ryan Tannehill.
Goff.
Lawrence.
For the future. For the future.
All right.
For the future.
Or right now, but okay. Mahomes.
Mahomes. What is this? Come on. Now.
Herbert,
yes.
Derek Carr.
That's debatable. That's a tough one. I'll go with Goff.
Okay.
Tough.
Russell Wilson.
Oh, Goff.
Jalen Hurts.
Hurts.
Dak Prescott.
Prescott.
Daniel Jones.
Goff.
Heineke.
Goff.
Cousins.
Goff.
No.
What are you
Actually,
talking
Cousins. Rob's right.
Yeah.
Cousins. I'm trying to. This game's getting worse for me. He's going to be around 13.
We're at 10 so far. So you bet.
Aaron Rodgers.
Rodgers, but he's at the tail end.
Sure. Justin Fields.
Goff, but I've lost this game already. Let's just cut the game now.
All right.
I lose. You guys win. He's number 14 or 15. Sorry, what a waste of time. God, I'm an idiot. I like Jared Goff. Maybe because I cheer for him because everyone thinks he sucks. I'm used to people call him a bus rider and stuff. I like the underdog. Go Goff. He's had a great year for Detroit. I'm sorry.
Remember off the
Wasting
top
your-
when I talked about doubling down on shitty takes?
Yeah. Well played, Rob. At least I see.
Goff is average.
I
This is
always
what I'm
come to the
saying.
conclusion when I'm wrong, though. But I think he is better than he's fine. Just sorry, Pat. I don't know what to do anymore. Okay,
Rob,
what are we on? Silver?
Yeah,
I have no idea.
My silver.
Are
Sorry,
you
I derailed this.
are you picking Carolina, Rob?
No, I'm not. I just wanted to get Cam's opinion on that game altogether.
Oh, you're not? I did all that for nothing? It looks like a
Just
complete
purely
fucking
for
idiot?
nothing, just so we could settle this Goff debate. It all worked out exactly as I had hoped. I got there in steps, and Pat helped me along, but we got there.
You
Goff
sure did.
is very average. I'm laying the points with the Chiefs as my silver. I'll take the 9.5. I know that Kansas City typically does not cover big spreads. They've been a bad ATS team for a while. I think the Seahawks are way more terrible than people even realize right now. And they lose Tyler Lockett, which is huge for them because he bails them out on so many third downs. He's one of the most highly targeted receivers on third down this year. But I just don't know where Seattle comes up with stops. I really don't know. They can't get pressure on opposing quarterbacks. They don't have a great run defense anymore. Look at Patrick Mahomes' numbers when he has a clean pocket, 8.7 yards per attempt. I think he's going to cook this defense. And for Seattle, in order for their offense to get going again, I do think that they need to find a running game at some point. They can't just put it all on the shoulders of Geno Smith anymore. And ever since the Chiefs bye week, they're 8th in defensive success rate, stopping the run, 10th in defensive EPA against the run as well. I don't think Seattle's going to be able to run the ball consistently on them. So I see this as a high scoring game in the cold. But I do think ultimately KC, this is one of the games where they can win by margin.
This
It
is
hurt
all
Seattle when Kenneth Walker got hurt too. Because
Yes,
then
it
they had
did.
to put Travis Homer in there, and it's a problem.
Yeah,
Yes,
well, Kenneth
agreed.
Walker's going to play in this game, so that's good news for them.
Yes.
It just, I'm kind of with Rob here that it just Kansas
I agree.
City's going to cover one of these, and I don't like that everyone I've heard so far. Oh, did you know it's an extra few days of rest for Seattle? They're definitely going to cover and maybe win this game. Like, this is shit I'm hearing. I'm like, no, thank you. Give me the Chiefs.
No, you guys are right. It's the Chiefs are probably playing the game. I just can't believe, Rob, that I duped you. Like we did all that stuff, and you didn't even take Carolina. Like that was a real slick move.
You can take
Kansas City's the
Carolina.
play.
You can take Carolina right now as your silver pick if you want
I'm
to.
going to tell you, I love the Lions, and I take them every week, and they cover every week. But this is the week they don't cover. So I'm not going to make this a mineral pick, Patrick.
I will be selecting the Chicago Bears +9 as my silver selection of the week.
Okay.
You can run all over Buffalo at the moment. They're going to shore that up before the playoffs come. And just, I mean, you took them against the Eagles last week, and I was fearful that Fields was hurt, but just he had a bit of cramping. Got an IV, came back into the game. Just this reeks of competitive game for a bit. The Bills jump out big. The Bears come back and cover the spread, even though they have no chance to win the game. So +9, and the Bills Bills have covered one game in the past 2 months.
Yep. You know what, Pat? I don't agree with your assessment in that I think it's a game where the Bills just steamroll the Bears.
No, like it'll
This
be
is 20
it'll be close. and then it'll go back.
He
and
got
forth.
beat up last week, though, Pat. I'm a little bit concerned. Like, he got beat up in that game versus Philadelphia. He got murdered.
Whatever.
And I was on the Bears
There's
plus
3
9.
games left.
This is 25 mile an hour sustained winds in Chicago. Like, forget what you know of the Bills' offense. They're not passing the ball down the field in this game.
No,
Like,
I understand that, but the Bills' offense has worked better when it's just like, oh, RPO Josh Allen, 55 yards. It's like, oh, okay. And just both teams are going to do that back and forth.
Listen, at the end of the day, like, when you get into games, this is not as extreme as Cleveland, New Orleans this week, by the way, where the total's like 31.5 or whatever. Like, that's going to be a disaster.
Who do you like in that game?
Whenever there's these extreme wind games, I tend to side with the underdog.
Do not side with New Orleans is all I'm telling you.
Okay.
Don't do it.
See, notice how he doesn't answer my questions anymore? He just ropes me into bad arguments and bad takes. This guy. Yeah.
Okay.
Fair enough.
So I will answer your question head on, Cam. In Cleveland and New Orleans, I don't like either team. I'm not betting the game.
Oh, it's an answer, I guess.
That's the answer. I don't like anyone in that game.
Aline, New Orleans, because they're a dog, right?
No, they legit might score 0 points in this game. They was 3-0.
I don't even know why I bring stuff up anymore. I just don't even.
I'm giving you my opinion on it. That's what we're here to do.
I like you, Pat. You've been nice to me. This guy's just like
me. Because I don't agree with your lean on the game. Listen, why would Andy Dalton even start this game? By the way,
I agree. What is happening?
Just put Taysom Hill under center for the
but what happened
game.
to Jameis Winston all year? What did he do to somebody on this team? The guy he's been healthy for like 6 weeks. Why aren't they playing him? What is going on in New Orleans? What is Dennis Allen doing? There's something behind the scenes, Rob. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't. You can't throw Andy Dalton out there as a punching bag every week. There's something wrong.
I'm just saying, I don't disagree with you, by the way. I think Jameis is a better quarterback.
Got one right.
I think Jameis is a better quarterback than Dalton. I'm surprised they never brought him back in. I know he's a turnover machine. I get it. But like last year under Peyton reeled him in and he played okay. Like, it's not like, but this game in specific, just start Taysom Hill at quarterback and like, you can't throw the ball in this weather. So why is Dalton just going to be back there to hand off? At least have Taysom Hill there the entire game and they can try all sorts of weird shit. I don't know.
I actually you know what? I would love the Saints in this game if they started Taysom Hill. I
agree with you.
It would just be run. And like, they can't run the ball right now at all.
But
Cleveland couldn't stop them either. Like that, even though I was on them against Baltimore, they're fraudulent.
Cleveland's D has they were fraudulent last week against one of the premier rushing attacks in the league in Baltimore, but New Orleans is one of the worst rushing attacks in football. They can't pass. And the pass defense for the Browns has gotten a lot better. The biggest problem here, and it might actually work to their benefit, is that Deshaun Watson looks like he has a noodle arm.
Yeah. No, he doesn't look right.
He's struggling to regain his he can't throw downfield right now either, and like his accuracy is horrible. So
but if you take that at a play and say, hey, we have so much wind and it's so cold, we're not going to throw anyway, and we just pulled the Titans game plan, it's like, hey, Chubb, here's 30, Kareem Hunt, here's 15, that's a win.
Maybe he should work on his arm in the weight room instead of his unit on tables. How's that sound? Lift some. Guy's an NFL quarterback. Comes out, the guy's so cold. The guy's colder than a deep freezer watching this guy play. Good luck. Brissett did better than you.
Cam, what's your silver pick?
I'm sorry, Pat. Like I just very, very, very surly for the holiday season today. In a very, very bad mood. Just dealing with a lot of things that I'm dealing with, and it's not going very well. Okay, I'm going to take the Washington Commanders. Can you cue the laugh music? Cue it. Track. Yeah, do the clown track. I don't know why. I like 7.5 better than 7, but I think this is a game where the 49ers go on the road in Seattle. They've been fantastic. The defense is amazing. Bosa is going to be the defensive player of the year, blah, blah, blah. I'm just saying, I think the Commanders show up in this game. I think Heineke will find a way to grind in this game. The back door is open at this spread, and I think the Commanders lose a very tight game. Give me Washington because I can't figure out anything else to bet this week, and that game jumped out to me.
I think I would lean the Washington side as well, mainly due to I think their defense is good enough to limit what Brock Purdy is up to. The Brock hasn't really played any sort of elite defense yet, and maybe this can be the game.
Can I just be honest about my horrible pick last week too? I know they hate Dan Snyder, and they probably went up to Riverboat Ron and said, "I'm sorry, Ron, like your guy's a cancer survivor," and so the Commanders got jobbed. Sorry, it sounds like such a young person, Rob, into the gambling. Oh, blame the refs, but they had horrible calls go against them. Can I get some love here? Like the Washington Commanders couldn't get one damn call in that game. I'm sitting there going, great. Absolutely great. I'm not going to say they're going to cover, but they should have won that game, guys. That's all I'm saying. Right?
Fair enough. I thought there were definitely some questionable calls in that game.
Thank you. Thanks.
And
they're all over Terry McLaurin.
And questionable non-calls.
McLaurin's asking the rep if he's on side, and then the guy throws a flag. I lied to him.
I've never seen that before.
Like, are you kidding me? Like, what did Terry McLaurin ever do to you? Like, if I'm a player, a ref did that to me, I'd like at the end of the game, we're having a chat. Like, what's your deal, bro?
I know. I'm
not sure.
Hold on. I got to ask you, based on exactly what Cam just said. In soccer, in the World Cup, when there's a call they don't like, all these dudes get in the ref's face.
I know they do, and I like it.
Could you imagine if that happened in football? Like, there'd be deaths on the field. Like, they would kill these refs.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say kill the guy, but he needs to explain himself because that was a tainted, like, it was personal almost. It was really weird. You can't do that to a player, Rob. He basically rope-a-doped him. It was weird.
I don't know about you, but when I'm watching Sunday night football, was it Sunday night or Monday night? Sunday night. Sunday night football. And it's, big NFC East matchup, Washington and the Giants. I don't know about you, but or other people out there, but I'm tuning in for the refs personally, myself. That's what the spotlight for me is. I don't care about the game. I'm just tuning in for like these guys are a joke, man.
They are.
Like this is an absolute. Now it's the NFL is part of the problem because these aren't even like full-time employees, right? They're just pulling in random people in the offseason and whatever. And listen to the former refs in the booth, by the way.
Oh yeah.
After
the company line,
they have no idea what's going on.
Gene,
everyone's just
why are
guessing.
they paying these guys? They make it like your stooges. Like, Gene Steratore is going to go against the NFL, and all these ex-refs are going to go, wow, my friend Jerry's doing a shit job tonight. God, he sucks. He's got a wooden leg, and he's 80 years old, and he can't move to keep up with these athletes.
Every time they throw to Terry McAuley in the booth, I die
I
a little bit. And I lose a year of my life whenever I hear Terry McAuley just agree with whatever is called on the field.
You're right.
No matter how blatantly obvious. Like it's a joke. And honestly, like there's no reason for the ref to ever do that. Like a player just turns to you and is like, and he immediately puts his hand on the flag. Like just tell the guy, like we've all played sports and not at a professional level, but we've dealt with refs our whole life. Like refs will be very communicative with players all the time. That's what they're supposed to do. That was embarrassing. Honestly, that's an embarrassing look for the entire league.
Agreed.
Bronze picks for week number 16. Cam, throw one out there. See what sticks.
You guys go first.
Sure. Rob.
Still thinking. Thanks.
Sure.
Sorry, Pat.
I didn't get to say how much I agree with Pat on his silver, but I will say that by using the Chicago Bears as my bronze as well. I just think it's a very low total game, limited offenses. It's very hard for a team to build up margin when you take away the downfield passing threat in the game. I'm not a huge fan of the Bears. I don't think their defense is very good. But when all of a sudden you're stacking the box and both teams are just playing the run, that's what Chicago excels at offensively. Like they can run the ball. They have a quarterback who's very mobile against a Buffalo team that's been notoriously like struggles to stop the run and has had issues with it for years. So I'll take the 9 points here. I think this game could be very close. I really do. I just don't like everything the Bills want to do is kind of mitigated by the weather conditions in this game. So give me Chicago +9.
I wouldn't read. I don't want to read too much into the weather because we see some of these cold weather games be absolute shootouts. Because listen, the moment you start to get a little bit of a slippery field, as long as it's not a pile up of snow, and the high winds would be the things that concern me for offense rather than just pure frigidness on the field. Agreed. Because if you have a bit of a slick track, that benefits the offense more than anyone else.
So there's a few things. So wind by far affects the total the most. Not even close. Then there is a correlation between very low temperatures and lower scoring. That happens. It's not like massive. It's just a slight downgrade to the offenses, but those are the things I look out for, or torrential rain, which you might get with the Jets and Jags on Thursday night, where it's just like nonstop raining to the point where the field conditions worsen and everything like that. Those are your big things, but people tend to overreact to snow sometimes. Like they'll be like, oh, it's a snow game or whatever. It's like, guess what? That's going to help the receivers because the defense has, going to have to make cuts and they are going to have no idea what's coming. So we tend to see some overreactions. This one, though, is an extreme win game. And I think that's kind of my basis for the pick.
Okay. Cam, did you conjure up a bronze yet?
I have a few listed: Miami, Arizona, Minnesota, Philly, and Carolina. That's my 5 that I'm kind of looking at right now.
Let's see. I like Arizona. I like Miami. Who are the other ones?
Carolina.
I like Carolina. I like the
You like
Giants.
all my picks?
I like the Giants against the Vikings. I know what I'm taking is my bronze one. I mean, they're not.
I want to take Miami.
Oh,
I really want to take Miami.
you're lucky you got in on the Patriots plus 3.5, Cam, because it just dropped
I
to
know.
3.
That's sharp. I'm real sharp. Ooh, me changing lines. About as dull as butter knife. But let me see here. What do you guys feel about Miami? Do you like them?
I like Miami here.
Rob?
I'm neutral, but I lean Green Bay.
What about the Cardinals? How do you feel about that game?
I like the Cardinals. Although you should
Rob?
you should be betting on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win both the NFC and the Super Bowl right now. After what Cuss rant about how they're cooked, they're done, laughing at Brady. You know what's going to happen.
You know what? I'm going to do something really stupid.
Is it Trace McSorley starting for the Cardinals?
Yes.
I believe
Yeah.
so. Yes.
Don't you like him?
No, I think he might have actually been the worst quarterback I've seen play in the NFL for.
Give me the Carolina Panthers. I'm going to go against my Lions. It's just kind of like my mood today. I just don't care. The Lions have been good to me. It doesn't matter. Carolina's the play in this game. They have a better defense. We're getting 3 points. Don't you think so, guys? Like, do you feel that? Or
I mean, you got to put your faith in the Darnold here. That's not always the best thing in the world. But yeah, I see this being a low scoring game.
I really want to take Arizona, but I don't know what to do with this third pick. I'm really perplexed. And I'm not going to bet against Seattle, even though I agree with you guys. I think the Chiefs throttle the Seahawks. Yeah, Carolina it is +3. Thanks.
Okay.
Done.
And I will lead mine off finish it off with the last game of Week 16. I don't want to call this one free money because it's not, because of the teams involved, but
Oh my God, high voltage.
Colts +4. Come on now. This reeks of Chargers are doing too well and are in too good of a situation not to have a fucking stupid game in Indianapolis. It's inevitable.
Good call.
Like,
You're right, Pat. It is.
missed field goal to lose the game. They'll be up by like 10 with 23 seconds left, and somehow the Colts will stage a comeback. 4 is just a lot. And listen, the Chargers, I don't know what to make of them. We got Jeff very rattled, Rob, by saying that their defense is better without Derwin James, and like he almost discombobulated.
No, that's not going to go. That's not going to go very well.
Hey man, they've had two very good defensive games without him on the field. You really got to wonder if he's been a liability for that defense. And the same with Bosa, right? I mean, Bosa's been out as well. Defense is improving. Maybe they're better off without James and Bosa.
I just feel like this is a stupid game. It's a stupid game with two stupid teams. I'm going to take the home dog here.
And you get the upgrade at quarterback, right? With Nick Foles.
Is Foles starting for sure?
Foles is going to play this
If
week.
Foles is starting, we got it. The Colts are the play here.
I'm almost certain Nick Foles is starting this week. I will double check that. I think I saw something come along Twitter that Nick Foles is going to start this week.
If they protect Foles, he'll be fine in that game. The Colts defense can also play well, except for the second half against. It's crazy. That goes like 2 different games there. Like they were shutting down Minnesota, and then it just wheels fell off.
I almost went with Cleveland -2.5, but I will go with the Colts +4.
Fair enough.
All right. That will do it for the Week 16 best bets. Cam, you want $1,000? Get in the draw, okay?
I need more than $1,000, but I'll start there, Pat.
Well, there's another draw for $500 if you go to Odds Checker US. The link is down in the description. Subscribe on YouTube and leave Mayo underneath one of their comments. Boom, you're in that draw. But where you should really be subscribing is the Pat Mayo Experience on Apple Podcasts or Spotify to get yourself the 7 ballots, and then go over onto the Hammer.bet. Rob, what's going on at the Hammer right now? Is there just a ton of hockey content where you guys are winning every night?
We have hockey, we have basketball going with a pick and roll show every single day, and we're gearing up for some live streams during the playoffs for NFL playoffs as well. Which
hey, Rob,
yes.
Can I tell you something? I bet every home team in the NHL last night. They all won.
There you go. Why are you in such a bad mood today? Then you should be in a good mood.
Just some. Anyways, it's all good. It's all good. It's got a lot of things I got to do.
Yes. All right, I get it. It's a holiday season. It's not quite Festivus yet. We have a couple days till Festivus. That's when you air the grievances.
I think we should have done in Festivus on this show.
Well,
you beat me down with a metal Festivus branch. I can tell you that. Whatever on the damn tree.
The pole.
Yeah, the poll. Exactly.
If people are wondering if there's new content coming out, there is. Especially on Christmas Day, you can tune into Cust Corner 40, brand new show, a very custy Christmas. So if you're looking to kill time on Christmas Day, download the Pat Mayo Experience. We are here for you. But until then, I'm Pat Mayo. We'll see you next week.
Pat Mayo Experience! Experience!